Life path 2 always begins in the wilderness. There is no road that has been paved for you because you are the first one to express from that nature of you, from that individual perspective of you. That's the entire point of all of this. So are you willing to choose a different life path? Are you willing to jump timelines? Because essentially that's the same concept. Are you willing to jump from the road into the wilderness? The navigational system that's working on the road, that is your logical mind, is not gonna help you. So if you choose that life path through the wilderness, when your navigational system is telling you to please return to the highlighted route, keep walking. Hi everyone, this is video number 3 with a new filming style, which means me without the guarding and the bracing. In today's video, I want to talk about the life paths we can choose. So there are 2 basic life paths we can choose from. One is the life path that is laid out to us, for us, by our default programming, by our family line, by the people around us, by the circumstances we grow up in, by the logical mind that tells us this is the way life is supposed to go. This life path comes as a road that was laid out before you. And you get to travel that road for free. No additional effort. You just stay in line. You just stay in the line that was prepared for you by other people. And what comes with this life path for free is a navigational system that is going to lead the way on that road for you. And what most people do is they spend their lives traveling that road, knowing that everything's happening according to plan. And then misreading the according to plan for the happiness, for the success, for the fulfillment. That is the default checkbox life. It comes for free, but at the same time, it comes at a high cost. It is costing you your individual purpose, your soul's expansion. The road that you were told you're supposed to travel for free is not the path of highest soul expansion. Because expansion requires growth, and growth requires the moving beyond the comfort zone, the moving beyond the programming, the moving beyond the default mode, the living from a different state of being that does not come for free. A state of being that is the result of work, of deconditioning, of self-inquiry and self-awareness. So the road you have been thinking came for free. It is costing you every single day you travel on it. And you might not even notice that because the cost is calculated in the invisible realm. The cost is calculated by your soul that seeks a different expression of being. And it is only once we tune in to our inner voice, to our intuition, that we perceive the dissonance. The first step to growth is the dissonance with the status quo, is the dissonance with how things have always been before. The first step is feeling that the road you're on is not aligned with you anymore. It's not aligned with who you are. It's not aligned with your nature. It's not aligned with who you are rediscovering yourself to be underneath the conditioning. That's when you become aware of the cost. That has always been there. That's when you become aware of the part within you that is not willing to pay that price anymore. The part of you that is yearning for change. And our ego, our logical mind, our default mode confuses change with a higher cost. Because our default mode is geared toward repetition and safety. Repetition, doing things the same way we've always done them, is what maintains a sense of safety in our system. And that sense of safety might be totally distorted. That feeling and experience of safety is most likely conditional. Meaning, if I fit the box, if I check this box, if I stick to the norms and conditions, then I will be safe. If I move beyond the box, if I express myself beyond the convention, I will pay with safety. It's gonna cost me. That is a distorted logic that most of us adhere to unconsciously. This is happening unconsciously because we do not get up in the morning thinking, oh, today I'm in my default mode again. No. Or default state, as I also like to refer to it, the nervous system state, that's your default. The belief system, that's your default. The assumptions of what life is supposed to look like and how reality works, that are your default. The actions that you then carry out to legitimize and to repeat that same reality you have already assumed. So that was one of the two life paths that we can take, that we do not even have to take because we are already on that path. Growing up in a family system, growing up in a cultural system, in a society, growing up learning the assumptions of other people, making them our own assumptions, our own beliefs of how the world works, of what happiness means, of what success means, of what fulfillment means, of what purpose means, of what check in the boxes mean. That comes for free. And you know what? Free is freaking cheap. That's the cheap option. That is the option that will take you through life, recreating your own limitations, legitimizing your own blocks, creating your own frame for what is beyond what you can achieve in this lifetime, and then calling it fate, and then calling it other people's responsibility while missing the point of your own existence. It is easier to find outer expressions for that dissonance. Your system is going to come up with all the perfect reasons for that dissonance, the outer reasons. And we're going to call these reasons bad luck, bad circumstances. We're going to call them diagnoses that show up as an expression of dissonance, of dis-ease within our system that we have not learned to contain, to perceive, to reflect, and then to act upon in a new way. Shifting your life path means learning to tolerate, to accept, to contain, and then to create from the dissonance first, until your system can perceive a new, an authentic resonance that is coming from your nature, that is coming from your soul, that is coming from your heart, that's coming from your intuition, rather than from the outer checkbox circumstances. Because that is not true resonance. That might be cognitive resonance. That might be logical understanding, logical approval and legitimization. But resonance is happening on an energetic frequency level. That's what we are after. That's what we need to be after if we are after true happiness, true fulfillment, true peace, true freedom. That is based on our inner truth rather than on outer expectations and the outer 3D reality frame. So are you willing to choose a different life path? Are you willing to jump timelines? Because essentially that's the same concept, just in different words. Are you willing to jump from the road into the wilderness? Because life path 2, it doesn't look that pathy. It doesn't look like a path at first, because it's not. Life path 2 always begins in the wilderness. There is no road that has been paved for you, because you are the first one to express from that nature of you, from that individual perspective of you. That's the entire point of all of this. In this wilderness, nobody has ever set foot before. No path, no road, just a jungle of infinite possibilities. No anchor, no wall. Where are you supposed to go from there? The navigational system that's working on the road, that is your logical mind, is not going to help you in the wilderness. What is that navigational system going to do as soon as you leave the paved out road you've always been on and you steer straight into the wilderness? It's going to say, please return to the highlighted route. Please return to the highlighted route. That is the only answer you will get from that old navigational system. So I want to encourage you, if you consider choosing that second life path, which leads straight through the wilderness, or not so straight actually, because that is not a linear path, is to employ another system, your inner guidance system, your inner compass. Because your intuition is always going to be more accurate than any navigational system could ever be. What does your intuition say? What does your inner voice say? What are your creative impulses that come seemingly out of nowhere? Right from the middle of that chaotic wilderness, what are they telling you to do? What are they encouraging you to try, to create, to be, to say, to do? And at first, that compass, that inner voice is gonna be so quiet. It's gonna be a whisper. But the more you choose to follow that whisper, the louder and stronger that voice is gonna become. The more creative impulses are gonna come in by law. Because you are creating, you are auto-generating a new system of resonance that is more accurately calibrated to your individual expression, to your natural beingness, than any outer navigational system that works on the road could ever be. So if you choose that life path through the wilderness, you gotta keep walking. When your navigational system is telling you to please return to the highlighted route, when other people in your life are telling you, wait, where are you going? Like the road is here, this is where we travel. Keep walking. Keep steering by the compass you perceive. And that may mean moving all over the map in circles, taking U-turns, pivoting. The road is linear. Your soul is not interested in linearity. Your heart, your intuition is not interested in linearity. Your purpose is not found through linearity. It is discovered, it is recovered through following the nudges of inspiration. Which life path are you choosing? And the beautiful thing is, because this is so closely linked to the concept of jumping timelines and the question, which timeline are you choosing? You can choose again in every moment. You can choose now, and you can choose now, and you can pivot now, and you can make a different choice now. It is not one choice for a lifetime. That's part of the old logic. It is your choice in the now, from an embodied place, from an aligned place. What is your choice now? And how do you determine that choice? You determine it obviously by how it feels. How does it feel? We simply see where the better feeling, where the aligned feeling, where the peaceful, the blissful feeling is showing up. From which perspective, from which state. And it's most likely not gonna be from the default state. It's gonna be from that aligned, tuned in, tapped in state. This also means that there is no reason to beat ourselves up about any choice we have made in the past, about the life path we were on, about the road we traveled. It doesn't matter. You choose again right now and you can make a different choice. Not from your logical mind, but from the resonance of how it feels inside, how that choice feels inside. And that choice is obviously always going to be based on which path is going to encourage the greater authentic, natural expression of who you really are at your core. It's as simple as that. And that'll most likely, in most cases, maybe in all cases, be aligned with the second life path. Be aligned with traveling the wilderness with nothing but your inner compass. Traveling with empty hands and a full heart. Not knowing where it's going to take you, but following the breadcrumbs, the nudges of inspiration, the creative impulses all over the map. Until the path you're traveling reveals its own individual, unique signature on that map. And we can only see that signature in hindsight. That signature is revealed in hindsight, and it is supposed to look so specific, so particular, so individualized, Because it is your signature, your path that is supposed to be traveled by you and not by any other person on this earth. Your individual singular expression of being alive from your perspective of the world. And the only thing taking that path is gonna cost you is dissonance with the road you traveled before. Dissonance with the norm, dissonance with the conventions, dissonance possibly with the culture or with society in certain areas of life. Dissonance with some of the people, maybe many of the people, maybe all of the people you grew up with that provided that frame for you. And dissonance, healthy dissonance expresses, important fact, as non-attachment, not as detachment. There is no need to detach from the frame you grew up in. There is no need to detach from the road if you are so rooted in yourself that you know that non-attachment is enough. You do not need to turn against the road, be against the road, in order to follow your curiosity and your excitement into the wilderness. These two aspects, it's not a contradiction. And many people turn it into a contradiction. And the moment you turn it into a contradiction in your mind, you are back in your ego. You're back in your logical mind. Freedom and independence require non-attachment over detachment. That's important. That just came through. Totally unplanned. And this is how now I'm learning to express the downloads, to allow them to come through on camera spontaneously. I've talked about this in my last 2 videos. Presenting like this, me sharing my ideas like this is so new to me. And the old way of doing it was me with one foot on the road, trying to maintain a sense of safety that was an illusion and that was costing me. And I could not see that at the time because I was expressing from the greatest level of authenticity that I was capable of expressing with one foot on the road. And now what you're getting is me expressing from spontaneous inspiration, me forging my own path through the wilderness, not knowing what the next sentence is going to be. And now I already know that the next sentence is going to come. It might not be what I expected, but why would I reduce my self-expression to my own expectations? I love that sentence. Okay, please ask yourself that question. Why would you reduce yourself to your own expectations? Are your expectations serving you? If so, great. But if you're acting from a default mode, a lot of the time, if you're traveling the road, then most of your expectations are not gonna serve you. Most of your expectations are going to keep reproducing old blocks, old limitations that belong to other people. So today I want to ask you, are you willing to calibrate your compass? Are you willing to tune into that possibly very quiet inner voice until it gets louder, until the signs get clearer, until you know exactly that it's safe? That it's the utmost definition of safety to follow the resonance, to follow what feels good, to follow what feels aligned with your truth and your heart and your soul. Are you willing to take the road less traveled? Are you willing to forge your own path in a wilderness that nobody ever traveled before you? Are you willing to leave the road without running from it, without detaching from it? Are you willing to become non-attached to the frame and the expectations you were giving and to start creating from a new place, a more authentic place from your true nature? Are you willing to focus your mind on a new destination that is in sync with your fulfillment, with your purpose, that is in sync with what you are here to create from the unique expression of who you are? Of who you came here to be? Are you willing to make a new choice now without beating yourself up about any of the choices you've made in the past, about the path you were on? Anytime we belittle ourselves and our worth in that way, we are straying from the nature again. We are straying from the wilderness. We are back on the road because that sort of judgment belongs to the road, belongs to that first life path, the default. In the wilderness, every single pivot on the path is part of that path, is intentional, is leading all over the map, but at the same time straight towards your highest alignment and your highest self-expression. There is no way you could misstep on that journey. There is no way you could stray from the path in the wilderness because you are forging that path. And every single aligned decision that you make is in sync with that path. It needs to be, because that's what it's supposed to be. You creating your own unique signature with all of the pivots all over the map. Your signature, your individual journey. So this beautiful downloaded monologue leaves us with two important questions. First question, which path do I choose now? Which path am I choosing now? Not in 5 minutes, not in 1 month, not when it's convenient, not which path did I choose yesterday or 5 years ago. Which path am I choosing now? Second question, which path am I on right now? And that's, by the way, the same as asking which state am I in right now? Which mental, emotional state am I in right now? Which nervous system state am I in right now? Am I aligned? Am I regulated? Am I grounded? Am I energized? Or am I holding back, buying into the limitations? Again, traveling on the road of the default life path. Or am I tuning in? Am I tuned in right now to source, to my own inner truth, to my nature, and acting and creating from that, expressing from that? You get to notice which state you're in, which life path you're on in any moment. And then you simply return to question number 1 and you choose again. Which path are you choosing right now? This was good. This was so aligned. I do not have a script, okay? I literally have like half a page of notes that I took for this video because I came up with the idea earlier this morning and I didn't want to forget it. So I took some notes. And now everything else happened spontaneously from the aligned state. And it feels so good and so new and so easy. And I'm definitely gonna keep creating from this state. Please let me know in the comments below what you took away from today's video, which life path you are choosing right now. I don't even want to hear about which one you were on yesterday, okay? We don't care. What are you choosing right now? Which form of self-expression are you choosing right now? And that's it for today. No intro, no outro, just me spontaneously delivering the messages I receive in order to share them with you. So easy. It can be so easy. Have a beautiful day. Bye.